How's it going, guys? It's the Peruvian Trucker back with another video. And this video is long overdue. It's been over a week since Prime made the announcement on the camera system they will be implementing on the trucks. And I think it's about time I gave my thoughts on it. I've actually kept quiet about it. I might have mentioned it in a video, the uncertainty that it brought to me back when there was uncertainty because they didn't announce what they were going to implement. But now all the information is out, so let's get to it. Okay guys, so if you're looking into coming to Prime, or you drive for Prime or follow Prime YouTube, I'm pretty sure that you already know that Prime made the big announcement in which they announced what camera system they were going to implement in the truck. They made a big announcement almost a year ago in June, in which they said that they were testing some AI technology to implement in the trucks, some driver-facing technology, and about 10 days ago-ish, about a year later, they finally gave all the details. So we're going to split this video in two sections. First, we're going to talk about the announcement itself, the one from a couple of days ago, and my thoughts on that. And then I'm going to talk about my thoughts on how the entire situation was handled from when they first announced that they were going to implement cameras. The announcement video was interesting to say the least. Some of the stuff that was said was surprising, and it's not the stuff that you would think. And by that I mean that it wasn't like the actual stuff relating to the camera system. It was some of the scenarios that were brought up, but I'm not going to talk about that. It's none of my concern. You can watch the video and find out for yourself. When it comes to the actual Notre Dame video, I have mixed feelings. Like, objectively, if you're doing your job properly, you should be fine. But also objectively, we're not robots. So I feel that it's inevitable that within an hour, something is going to trigger the camera. But they put a lot of effort into trying to convince people that that's not going to be a cause for concern. Again, you can check out the video, but basically they were mentioning that if the behavior that triggers the event on the camera is corrected within a timely manner, it will not be a cause for concern. And I'm not gonna lie, again, I haven't really talked about it since the announcement because I've had mixed feelings. Some days I feel like I can deal with that and that I'm a fairly good driver to be able to work with that kind of system, but some other days it really gives me anxiety because of the level of control that will have over my job, over my position at Prime. But honestly, when it comes to, again, being objective and just realizing that, Prime has provided a lot for me and it's still a great opportunity. I really want to say that I'm determined to make it work at Prime because Prime has provided a lot for me. And of course, if I had it my way, I wouldn't want a camera or anything that monitors me on the truck. I don't like being micromanaged. But again, it's about weighing pros and cons. And again, I don't want to be redundant, but it's a fact that Prime has provided a lot for me. It's changed my life for the better, and I am fairly comfortable with Prime. And if this camera system is not going to really be a big deal when it comes to the way that I operate the truck, or it's going to have a positive impact, I'm determined to make it work and continue to reap the benefits of working for this company. And that's my thoughts so far, based on the information that has been provided. Again, there's really not much more than I can say until I'm dealing with the system itself. That doesn't mean that there isn't a level of anxiety that comes with that, or uncertainty, but until then, and really even beyond or after that system's implemented, there's not much I can do about it. So it's really pointless to stress out over something that I can't control. Now, when it comes to how Prime handled the whole thing, and I mean starting with the announcement back in 2023, hate is a strong word, but personally I hated the way that they handled it. I don't blame them, because if I were in their position, I would do everything in my power to let that sink in or ease in the idea of cameras, so it would be normalized, so drivers wouldn't overreact. So I can blame them for doing that. But from my point of view, and thinking about my plans and my situation back then, I really hated it, because I would have loved for them to just come out and say what they were going to do, so I could figure out what steps I was going to take, or what decisions I was going to take. Based on what information they provided. Actually, the day that they made the announcement, I was in Springfield, because I had been backed into a couple of days before, and I was at the MHC Kenworth, which is the body shop, getting my truck worked on while that meeting was being held. And I actually went to the yard to look at trucks, because I was set on going lease purchase. But they dropped that bombshell, which was that announcement back in June of last year. And I mean, I wasn't able to make a decision. I mean, it came with a lot of uncertainty. I didn't know what they were going to do, what impact those cameras were going to have. And I still don't know. Like, I mean, there's more information, but again, like I said, until it's in the truck and I have to deal with it, I don't know what measures I'm going to have to take. Again, I'm determined to make it work, but there's only so much I can do. And back then, I mean, had I known back then what I know now, I probably would have continued with placing my lease purchase order, because back then I didn't know how long it was going to be before they implemented this stuff. Now that I know, hell, if I would have placed my order back then, June of last year, June of 2023, there's a big chance that I would have been at the 18-month mark before the cameras are implemented. I'm not saying that I'm planning to leave Prime, but I would have had more free. I would have been able to get my own truck, and I would have been in a position where if I had to, I could have pulled it out of the fleet and do whatever, if I needed to. And that's my biggest gripe, I guess, just the uncertainty that came with the way the announcement was handled. And I still like Prime. I mean, Prime is not a perfect company, but it's still a really good company, especially if you're looking to get your CDL. I definitely have enough reasons to stay, and like I mentioned, I'm willing, if not determined, to make the camera situation work to my benefit. I know that a lot of people raise concerns when it comes to like privacy stuff, but personally it's not really a big deal for me, because whenever I stop, I close the curtains in my truck, and that should cover the camera regardless of whether it's on or off. One thing that I'm kind of concerned about is that I think I've mentioned this in the past, is that I'm kind of shy, and one thing that I like about being in the driver's seat with nobody watching me is that I can just sing or enjoy music or my podcasts and while I'm driving, and I don't know if the camera is going to be picking up audio, and if I have a camera pointing at me, I don't know if I'm going to be as willing to just sing as I would do, or listen to some of the music that I listen to. My taste in music is all over the place, and the same for podcasts. And part of me is a little concerned about what the camera is going to be listening for. But at the same time, I've decided that I am not going to change that spectrum of my behavior. The camera can have some positive behavioral changes when it comes to driving habits, but what I listen to while I drive is not something that I have to change. And if that becomes a problem with Prime, whatever I'm listening to, or if I'm singing or whatever, I will deal with it in that moment, or as it presents itself. But I'm not going to change that. And that's, I think, pretty much it. I'm curious on your thoughts on what I've said. Please drop a comment below. And yeah, I'll catch you on the next one. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great rest of your week. Bye.